Where would you like to begin? Everything's labeled, so
all right.
Bread goes in here.
I don't want to start with the bread.
Okay. Hey guys, what's up? It's Raven. Welcome back to my mom's kitchen. We are here for another home organization video. If you guys did not see the last video that we did over here, we actually organized her pantry, small pantry organization ideas. I've also done my pantry back at my house, but today we are going to be tackling her refrigerator. And I know this is gonna sound weird, but this is actually my Mother's Day gift to her. My mom has really been wanting to organize her refrigerator and create like a really aesthetic, like Pinterest fridge. She's like always sending me inspiration pictures on Instagram. So I thought it might be a fun Mother's Day gift for me to gift her with all of the little organizational bins and everything that she might need to create her dream refrigerator. So the goal is obviously to organize it and make it look super pretty and Pinteresty, but also have it be super functional so that it stays organized. So we are going to take everything out of the fridge, wipe it down, clear it out, put everything back in. We've got all types of containers and labels and fun stuff, so hopefully we get a really nice result. Okay, so here we are at my mother's refrigerator. She has a KitchenAid 3000. I don't know, do you know what it's called?
No.
This type of KitchenAid that has like the 2 doors on top, but then it also has 2 drawers right here, refrigerated drawers. And then it has a lower freezer drawer. So she has a fancier fridge than I do. And there's lots of little compartments and whatnot, but currently it's just the food is just kind of shoved in there. And that is why she wants to organize it, so that it has more. You tell them why you want to organize there.
Because things are always getting lost. I can't ever find what I'm looking for. I don't have room to put away all the groceries when I buy groceries, and I'm just hoping to reorganize it so that it looks pretty and then it's easy to keep organized. So our fridge is clearly a hot mess, and the first thing we need to do is take everything out of it and wipe it down, get it all clean, and then we can get started on the fun stuff, which is putting everything back in.
Is that the fun part?
Yes,
okay.
I can't wait.
You might be wondering why my mom has so much stuff in her fridge when only 2 people live here.
We eat food.
Well, because you have family over often, you like to cook.
I like to cook.
You like to cook from scratch.
Everybody's working at home. They have to eat at home.
This is why I wanted to do this video with her fridge, not only because she said she wanted to do it, but if we would get this with my fridge, it would be disappointing because honestly, I don't keep a lot of ingredients and fun stuff in my fridge. Running out of space to put stuff. One lone cherry. Last bowl, finally done cleaning out just the fridge part.
Fun fact, the #1 requirement when I was searching for a fridge is it had to be easy to clean. The parts had to be super easy to take out, put in the sink, and get really clean.
All right, now if you saw the pantry video, this should look somewhat familiar. I think this is even worse than the pantry. This is all the stuff we took out of the fridge. It is taking up every square inch of countertop surface. All this stuff, and all this stuff. TMZ exclusive. Look how much of a slob Raven Elyse's mom really is.
It wouldn't be a Chef Tony project without Cricut labels. So I'm labeling a couple of bins in my fridge and a few bins that I'm going to use for organizing. And I've decided to put them in the corner. Now we're gonna put the bins back in the fridge. These are tricky, they're not smooth and satisfying, so blame me. Boom. I actually have a diagram I want to share with you. You can't take on a project like this without a plan. So I have a plan of how I want everything organized. See? It's not to scale.
What's that? And then this is way up here and still has space for a whole juice?
Like I said, it's not to scale, but it's gonna work. Let's put the other part in here that goes in here. Boom. Okay, now that the fridge is all cleaned out, I really want to see how the bins that I bought and put labels on are gonna fit before I start putting everything back into the fridge.
The bins that you bought?
With your money. I may have to rearrange the levels of some of the shelving, so that's why I want to do that first. I want them to be stacked. You can use these containers with the lids or without them, and I'm probably going to use them without. I got these containers from Bed Bath & Beyond, these and these. These containers came from the Container Store. I love these containers. These are the same as these, but they're smaller and narrower because you can use them with the lids, without the lids, you can stack them. But what I plan to do with these, did you see how much of a hot mess this fruit drawer was? Behold. So right now I'm just rearranging everything so that my containers fit. I plan to refill these to go here. So I just want to make sure I have enough room. I bought these bottles with the intention of using them for my most used condiments. So I labeled each one with what it is, with my Cricut, of course. And before we finish this project, I'm going to refill these bottles from, where's all the condiments?
From
all this hot mess over here. And the reason why is not only because it's, you know, it looks prettier, but I can fit more of these on the shelf because they're square. And some of your condiment, like you might have a barbecue sauce, that's fat and it takes up a lot of room. Other thing I have, ta-da! I bought these with the intention of using them for meal prep, for leftovers, and sometimes for vegetable storage. I'm gonna take these out because I know there's some leftovers I have to transfer into these containers. Typically the leftovers are in all kinds of random plastic. I really want to move away from using plastic for leftovers. Plastic and odd-sized containers. And what I love about these are that they're square and they're stackable and they're glass. They're gonna last a lot longer than your typical leftover containers. These containers are from Ikea. Now, the objective is to start putting things away with my new organizational system here and to see if everything works or if I need to move some things around.
All right, so she's got her vision mapped out. Take the containers back out, fill them up, and start putting stuff in there. I would like to go on record and say that I'm not sure that this is going to be functional, but it's very cute. Where would you like to begin? Everything's labeled, so
All right.
bread goes in here.
I don't want to start with the bread.
Okay. Lemons and limes in the nice little section. What are these, tangerines? Little cuties in their own section. So I've got these three, and then this one is labeled for bread.
You know, the buns are there, the bread is there.
And then this, oh, that's the wrong one. That was the cheese box. This is the bread box. Bread, cheese.
So this condiment bin is for things that don't like go on the shelf. These berry bins, you can actually rinse your berries and use this as a colander. Rinse them here, or I can rinse them there, doesn't matter. These came from Bed Bath & Beyond, and they are also stackable. The next thing I'm gonna put away, since it doesn't really need much organizing, is my drinks. On the top shelf, put the unopened stuff towards the back. I wanna put my eggs back where they belong. This is not supposed to be an egg bin, but I like to use it as an egg bin. So down here is where I keep my eggs and my butter. Now I'm gonna put my veggies up. I don't like to put this lettuce in here because it always gets stuck. Now I've got plenty of room to keep that tall lettuce right there. Down in this drawer, I like to keep onions, even though I know you don't have to refrigerate them. Put my divider here, and I can keep certain things on that side and certain things on this side. Deli tray, keep bacon, sliced cheese, shredded cheese, wieners, tortillas. Also keep cold ginger ale here. I don't know why, but it works. Next is this drawer is where I keep mustard, mayonnaise, ketchup. You always need to have these things handy for your sandwiches and french fries. I'm not going to put these in decanters because it just works better to come out of the squeeze. Oh, I've already started using some of my new Ikea because when I open up a package of vegetables, sometimes we don't eat them all at one time. So I can just put them here and they're available for me to eat. Same thing with this, like, you know, does it make sense to put this big old thing back in there? No, I just couldn't eat it all. So what I'm gonna do, get one of these, dump the spinach in. Otherwise, it would just be taking up a lot of space, and I need my space. Boom, stackable. Ooh, I love the way this is coming out. Something I should have bought a bin for, that I like to keep the stuff together, is dairy, like sour cream, half and half, or heavy cream. For now, it just has a spot like right there, along with butter in the butter dish. We got some leftovers. Yay, let's do some with these leftovers.
And what's that? Where there is Chef Tony, there is wine. So no more mismatched leftover containers. Everything is going to be all matching and cute and eco-friendly. Baked beans.
And also, I forgot to mention, but in case there's like a little bit of leftovers like this is for smaller amounts of leftover condiments. Like this is getting thrown out because it was leftover coconut milk and it went bad. You know, in fact, I probably should have put the beans in there. I made some salsa the other day and put some homemade salsa. I bought some dates. There's a big awkward container. I take my dates out of this container and put them in here. And I don't have to guess what's in this container. I can see it. Put it in my fridge. I think I'll put those back there because I want to eat the leftovers first. What I should do as I'm cutting up vegetables is just to cut up the whole thing so I don't have to use plastic to put a leftover piece of bell pepper in. And then I could put those prep veggies in these jars. The next time I'm ready to make a recipe, it's already chopped and ready to throw right into the recipe. I'm actually going to put the green with the red. And that'll make cooking my meals a lot easier next time. Same thing, I don't have to do this to the onion anymore. I mean, I'm gonna use it within the week anyway. Might as well just get all the chopping done at once. So the last thing to do for the fridge is to decant, change the bottles for my sauces that are frequently used that I want to have in these cute little label bottles. And I'm going to start with the Worcestershire sauce.
So my fear is that some of these things you might want to wish you were able to squeeze it to get it out. Also the opening, because the normal Worcestershire sauce bottle has that little thing on it so it only like drips out. But this is gonna pour out. So just for those of you watching at home, keep in mind, you know, how you like to use your sauces and what.
I mean, if you like to shake Worcestershire sauce on steak, then this might be a problem. If you just use it in recipes and you're measuring it out, this is not a problem.
Where did you get these from?
I got those from the Container Store. Soy sauce, hot sauce. Foolish girl. Foolish.
The price you pay for aesthetics. You have to do this every time you get a new jar of hot sauce.
It's not often. It's not often. Now I gotta rinse hot sauce off the outside of it. Recycling. So now we're ready to put the bottles into the refrigerator. And this project is almost a wrap. Pow. I like it. For the fridge, this is real life groceries. I just bought groceries today. And did you see how those groceries barely fit into my fridge? And now, look at how those beautiful groceries fit into my fridge.